Super Mayhem.
Hello friends, it's Tim here again from Super Mayhem. Oh! And boy howdy, do we have some fun game hacking action for you today. So in this addition to our Game Genie Hijinx series, we're going to take a look at that super spooky NES classic that is Castlevania. And far out, there are so many Game Genie codes for this game that I couldn't even count them. Seriously, I had over 23 pages of codes. So now it's my job to sift through and find some of the best working codes for you. I promise this will be the best Castlevania video you have ever seen, although I can't promise anything. So if you love Dracula or the Castlevania series in general, then be sure to smash that like button to help my channel out, subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about more videos like this. And if you don't mind, please make a comment about your favourite code in this video or one of your favourite retro gaming moments or something. And with that said, on with the show. Starting off easy, we will take a look at some of the official Galoob Game Genie codes, such as SXXXYAAX, which gives us a very handy infinite time. Needless to say, this comes in extremely useful as you can take as long as you want without having to worry about that annoying timer. A couple of more exciting codes are OXNGLZVK, which starts you off with infinite lives, and also the code ASOGOPIA, which starts you off in the game with a crazy 80 power hearts. Not bad, hey? Well, it gets even better, especially for default codes. Just like the two-line code KZSSEZKA plus KXESUZKA. For example, with this beauty in play, your special weapons won't even use a single heart, meaning you can smash up and B all you like without having to worry about losing your hard-earned hearts. GZOGYUSE, on the other hand, is another very useful cheat code as it allows you to keep your special weapons even after you die. Talk about super handy. Combine this one with the infinite lives cheat and you are set for victory. There are a couple of other default cheats that I will leave on the screen for you now to check out on your own whims. They are either variations of the cheats I've shown or are pretty self-explanatory. Now we can move on to the more fun stuff, the fan-discovered codes. And as I said in the intro, there are a ton of them, so I can't show them all, but I do hope you enjoy the following codes I've selected, such as SZSVLYSA, which gives you infinite health. Take that, zombies, dogs and bats, you can't hurt me! But the water can. Moving on, one of the biggest criticisms Castlevania receives from new players is that you get knocked backwards when you are hit by an enemy. Well, with the awesome cheat code ENKPTTEI, now you will no longer be knocked back when you are hit. Pretty sweet, especially in certain spots, and this even works with boss battles. In this recording you may have also noticed that I start on level 1, stage 2. This is using the two-line code ZEEUSPAA plus VXOLEOVE. You can also change that first Z to a P or an L and start on level 1, stage 1 or stage 3 respectively. This isn't a huge help, but it sure beats passing that first entrance part at least. There is also a two-line cheat code that lets you start on level 1 after beating the game a set number of times. For example, if you enter the two-line code ZEEUSPAA plus LXEUNOAX, you technically start on level 38, and you will have beat the game twice and have 2 whip power-ups. This is pretty awesome, but for a noob like me it just causes me trouble, as the game is still the same, just with more enemies and more freaking bats. This next cheat code you have to try out. It's just a bit of fun and is EVPPEL. With this one in play, Simon will jump twice as high as he usually does. This not only looks rather funny, but it can also be helpful passing certain areas, like jumping over those darn dogs in the entrance. The epic two-line Game Genie code, GAOLXPAE plus VAOLVPSA, starts you off in the game with the red God Axe and is also what's known as double shot. In the intro to the game, the HUD looks a bit broken, but when you get going you can fire as many axes as you want whilst whipping at the same time. This was quite a surprise as the code didn't advertise that the axe wouldn't require hearts, but maybe that is the power of the red God Axe? I'm not 100% sure on this one, as I'm far from a Castlevania master, but I suspect this is the case. Anyway, starting with this bad boy is awesome fun, for mowing down the undead, or even blasting that first boss away. This is an amazing cheat code and probably the most fun one I have checked out so far. There are actually other codes that make use of this double shot ability, such as PAOLXPAE plus VAOLVPSA, which starts you off with the boomerang cross thing that you can throw and also whip at the same time. Unfortunately, I picked up another item by accident, but the double shot still allowed me to freeze time and whip at the same time. I think the use of an infinite heart cheat would be the best way to approach this code, but this is a pretty handy cheat to have in your back pocket. It's super annoying to get hit in this game. Not only do you go flying backwards, but you also lose your whip upgrades. Well, why not try out the code GXVZYPSA, which solves just this issue. Oh my god, I haven't seen whipping like this since Amsterdam in the 60s. Not only will you keep your whip upgrades when you're hit, even if you die you still keep them. This is another neat little code that you can play around with. I was intrigued by the code VVSTKA, which claimed to make enemies or weapons travel super fast. However, this wasn't the case. For some reason, the short way into the first stage of the game, it glitched a little and the music got weird, and my points just shot up insanely. Then to top it off, I received extra lives anytime I scored any points at all. So this one wasn't quite as advertised, but it is still an interesting glitchy code. The cheat code TOOPOT is not only funny sounding, it also breaks the game, which is unfortunate as this had the potential to be a fantastic code. It is essentially airwalking, which is always a favourite of mine. However, once you jump, you stay at that level, and if you keep jumping you go up through the HUD and even die. It's annoying as you actually start off the ground, meaning you can't actually enter the first area of the game, as the door must be right at the bottom. Boo words. Fun code though. Another weird glitchy code is AVOPUEOZ, which somehow affects the way the game scrolls through. At the start of the game I could see a bit of a scrambled patch when I tried to go backwards, so I proceeded through the level. I found that the door leading to the next section wouldn't open though, so I tried going back past the level. When I got to the start, I was super surprised as I could literally go back through the entrance to the start of the first part of the level. Unfortunately, that's where I got stuck, as all I could see was scrambled sprites and a pit if I tried to jump into it. This obviously stops you from progressing through the game, but it's an interesting cheat all the same. Whoa man, I'm seeing like 5 Simons here. The cheat code APIAGE is a strange one that kind of makes you feel like you're in the Matrix. You get a trail of several Simon sprites as you walk. When you are in the thick of the action, this makes the entire game super flickery, as there are just too many sprites on the screen for the NES to handle. This is a fun code though, so give it a go. The code ILATTY promised me that if I ran into enemies I would receive items. Well, it doesn't work. But it does have some strange effects. For a start, it seems like I can walk through the first of the wave of zombies, but then I will get hit from the rest. It also has a strange touch when it comes to the dogs that guard the first set of stairs. It seems that they hit me even when I'm not near them. This code should be branded Super Dogs, or something. The epic 3-line Game Genie code AESTITPA plus AVVAYZAZ plus AVVAPZAZ is well worth the time it takes to enter in. With this bad boy in play, you're invincible in the sense that you can walk through any enemy you want, without getting hit or making contact with them. You can still slay them with your whip or item, but you can essentially just walk through the game, bosses and all, without taking any damage or even being knocked backwards. This is a really fun code, and I enjoyed it way more than I should probably have, but it's a great way of exploring the game without having to worry about that pesky life bar or anything hitting you. And for our final code I present to you the very weird ZOZOUN, which actually makes the game completely unplayable. So why is this fun? Well, it seems like Simon is on autopilot and just kind of scrolls through random parts of the game which get progressively more scrambled as you go. For some reason Simon is constantly going through doors, which also means you are changing stages, and there is even an enemy health levels at some point. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but hey, this is the wonder of the Game Genie for sure. Anyway, that's it for today my friends. I really hope you enjoyed hacking Castlevania on the NES with me. If you did, then be sure to smash a big fat like on this bad boy to help us out, subscribe and also ring the bell so you don't miss out on more content like this. And if you really like the mayhem and what I do, then please consider taking a look at our join button or our Patreon page below to feature at the end of our videos and also help fund them. Anyway, that's it for today, so I'll catch you soon.